All right, Shalom. All right, all honor, praise, and glory be to the Heavenly Father, YAHAWAH, Basham Yahushai, Yahakadashakar, the water YAHAWAH, Basham Yahushai, for allowing me the spirit, to be on me to, do another lesson, feed the flock, and double honors to the apostles and elders. I heard the apostles and the elders at the Great Millstone, all you true teachers and apostles and true prophets, those aiding in the ministry in truth and sincerity, and all those slated to be saved, and it's hoping to be saved, which will be the elect, the elect and 1/3 of the Israelite race, according to the scriptures. Because no one else is hoping except these people, and these people being you so-called blacks, Latinos, Native American Indians, Seminole Indians, West Indians, and so-called Afro people scattered abroad that have repented, and the truth of the matter now, and your Heavenly Father's name, your power is, who He is, His name, His name is Yahawah, and His Son's name is Yahawashi, and you just in on this truth, doing everything you can day by day until, the manifestation of the redemption, physically. All right. So, Shalom, Yahawaah, so jumping into it, this is the 39th volume of Up and Atom, and pretty much going into stop neglecting and shading the power in the use of words. A lot of people don't really esteem words. Like, words really get shaded when it deserves to be put on the highest pedestal, that it should be, but it should be done the right way, because words are put on a pedestal. A bunch of people that just talk and don't mean nothing, is put on a pedestal, because in that sense, that's when people understand that, it's all about, what you're saying and being political, obviously, which will be being politically correct, you're saying all the right things, but once again, it comes down to saying, and sayings come down to what? Words. So these just need to stop, neglecting, the use, the power and the use of words, and in the subtitle, I got, it originally said, tip to you women, but I could just put you carnal, because it's more than just women that do this, of our people, and you can't be like that, man. All right. Because, you're going to read the description. The description tells you, it gives you a nutshell, pretty much overview of the outlook of this lesson on where I'm coming from. All right. Which I won't even read. I'm just going to speak on through the spirit. So, for example, you have people that put carnality, you see what I'm saying, over words, because carnality affects things. Like a dude, he might just buy his woman, everything he wants just to get her, but that won't have the same effect if you would have just used your words together. Because think if you go back to what's that? Let me grab that scripture real quick. If you go all the way back to the garden, the Lord showed us the power, due to the use of words with Eve and the serpent. All right. Which I'm going to get. This is 2 Corinthians 11:3. It says, but I fear lest by any means, as the serpent beguiled Eve through his subtlety, which was simply what? His suggestions through the what? Through the use of words. So really just his words, man. That's why when you go to Proverbs, the 14th chapter, it says what? Let's get it. Get you thinking. All right, let's get thinking. So I ain't gonna just say the simple. Proverbs 14 and 15. The simple believe it every word. You see that? The simple believe it every word because it's a power that comes with words. You know, and obviously, with that being the case, there's a use for words. Then you see, words have uh, a real use. All right. It says, but the prudent man looketh well to his going. So when you go back to this, that's basically what it came down to, which is what it's saying. 2 Corinthians 11 and 3. But I fear lest by any means, as the serpent beguiled Eve through his subtlety, was simply just his suggestion of things which came down to what? Words, you know, which was through words. It says, so really his words. So your mind should be corrupted from the simplicity that is in Hamashiach, you know, words. See, but if you go to the word subtlety, which we're going to get that, and we'll get the word beguile, craftiness, you know, you got, when you go into, the use of words like literature, right? Literature, written works, especially those considered of superior or lasting artistic merit. You see, and what does lasting mean? All right, lasting. And that goes right into what I have in the description. All right. Lasting, enduring, meaning be in a car listening to something.
Lasting.
Salaki. I don't know what this is about. Autoplay. All right. Anyway. Lasting.
Lasting.
Lasting meaning enduring or able to endure over a long period of time. Synonyms: enduring, long lasting, long lived, lifelong, abiding, continuing, remaining, long term, surviving. Let's get some good ones. Permanent, deep rooted. See that? Durable, undying, eternal, ceaseless, unfading. Yeah. See that? And we'll keep this pulled up. So going back to literature, written works. You write words, all right? And then say draw, but it's always talking about words. You know, pictures come from drawing, words come from writing, all right? So written works, especially those considered of superior or lasting artistic merit. So like basically the higher the caliber, you know, the higher the quality, the better the quality of certain words that was constructed together in the form of books, you know, or I don't want to act like it's, you know, philosophy, but certain philosophies, like certain quotes that were said by like Bruce Lee or something like that. That's literature, and it'll stay around. Like a famous quote from Bruce Lee, which most people know, is be like the water, be bendable like water. All right. So let's get an example. Bruce Lee quotes. Most people know this. All right. 20 most inspirable Bruce Lee quotes. But Bruce Lee's dead. See that? So it's one that I know that he said is dealing with water. This is another one I know. I fear not. He said, I fear not the man who has practiced 10,000 kicks once. You see, I fear not the man who has practiced 10,000 kicks So 10,000 different kicks. He said, I fear not the man who has practiced 10,000 kicks once. 10,000 different kicks he practiced one time. He practiced each of them. He practiced just one time. But I fear the man who has practiced one kick 10,000 times, and that's heavy. That's true, because he's masterful at that kick. Do you know how well polished he is at that kick? That kick can really hurt you. You see, so statements like that, which were written works like this, through his philosophy, which was his words, was able to be considered literature, because after he's gone, they still linger around. They still have an effect today. So it shows you the power of words, and it's not something you want to shade. You see what I'm saying? That's why it says literature is truly what? Written works, especially those considered of superior or lasting artistic merit. So since he's long gone, right? Let's get when Bruce Lee died. He died July 20th, 1973. All right. So he died what? He died like dang near 50 years ago, roughly, around 50 years ago. So 50 years later, here we are on his quotes. And that's what will be what? This, which is his words, certain words, effective for words he said that went on to have an effect, that had an effect when he said them. And they became literature because they're still around, because literature is written works, especially those considered of superior or lasting artistic merit. So just off the fact that we're still going into them, obviously they've lasted. So it's literature, but obviously they lasted because words are that powerful. You see what I'm saying? There is not nothing to, so your use, the availability of you being able to use words, especially if you might be someone who, because really that's what I would want to go into, right? When you really go into literature, you got different writing styles. So you got different types of literature. So you got poetry, drama, prose or prose. Yeah, really what I want to go into is the different styles, writing styles. Let me just pull up, let's see. Let's pull up another tab real quick. Writing styles. All right. Got different type of writing styles. Okay, narrative, descriptive, persuasive, expository, creative writing. And really what I want to go into is this. Poetry. Because really everything, all the words we speak is poetry, right? Because poetry, it says, let's see. Let's get the words, get the meaning. Literary work in which, see, going back to literature, right? So literary work in which is what the scriptures is. You see what I'm saying? The scriptures is literature, all right? According to definition, by definition, it says fall under literature, but the top literature, right? Because it's lasted and it's going to last even with them. It's still going to be around, and all these words are going to still stand true. Once all the books here are burnt up due to nuclear fire, you see, and people's opinions are altered, because the words, the literature of this book, it goes beyond lasting. It's perpetual. All right. But anyway, it says, which is what literature is. But this is the highest. If literature is things that are superior due to them or because they last. You see what I'm saying? Really, you know, they're superior, you know, they're really effective, but really also due to them lasting, what will top the Bible? What will top prophecies in the Bible? You know, certain things King David said, certain things that YAHAWAH said, you know, Isaiah, he wrote, you got the things Solomon said, Proverbs, you know, it's like, for example, who will pity a charmer that is bitten with a serpent, or any such as come nigh wild beast? You see, really nobody. You're gonna be, you know, and that stand the test of time. That's why everything that's lasting, all the words and that was used by the prophets, different ministry was able to be put in here because there was things that were said, you know, that will have an effect, but they will always have an effect. You see, that's gonna always be true. You know, a foolish woman buildeth her house, but a wise woman builds her house, but a foolish woman plucketh it down with her own hands. That woman in the real world will always be considered a fool. You see, so that's why nothing will top the scriptures, because everything in this book it's on that level. You know, Proverbs 14:1, every wise woman buildeth her house, but the foolish plucketh it down with her hands. Is that not true? Would that ever change? Would that never not be the outlook on a woman that would do that? No. You see that? But anyway, literary work in which those are just examples, right? So literary work, and to keep the scriptures at the forefront of this lesson, but literary work is what we're going into as far as the meaning of poetry in the beginning part of the meaning. So literary work in which special intensity is given to the expression of feelings and ideas by the use of distinctive style and rhythm, poems collectively or as a genre of literature. So, for example, let's see. I'm gonna just put what I really want. You got because I basically went too far, so now I need to draw it out. Let me see. So you got metaphors, you got similes, allegories, parables, symbols, all these different ways to get a point across, to do something, to have an effect. Because I'm going into this to show that's really what everything consists of. You know, everybody really uses these things every day, you know, but you got some that take it for naught or shade it. They don't take that serious. You see that? Because say you say something bad, would that be considered literature? Yeah, because it has a lasting effect. But you're saying something bad, meaning what? You use words in the wrong way that created a certain effect. So it shows you on both ends of the spectrum to take words more serious, to be more to take more advantage of words, which is what the devil does, because that's what it says in the description. You know, you want to keep words chief, man. You know, so let's just go back to these quotes real quick, because really I wanted to get the one where he said, even though that was one I know. Here it is. Yeah, be formless. I think this was the one. He used to go into water, water a lot. That's why we, believe, I believe that, Bruce Lee was a Jake, empty your mind, be formless, like water, shapeless. Put water in a cup, it becomes the cup. You put water in a cup, it becomes the cup. You put water in a bottle, it becomes the bottle. You put water in a teapot, it becomes the teapot. Water can flow or it can crash. Be water, my friend. Right? You need to be able to be however you need to be to get the job done. That's basically that. And that's true. So now 50 years later, this is still, this is literature. Knowing is not enough, we must apply. Willing is not enough, we must do. Bruce Lee. See? So those are just examples, right? So it just shows you, out of everything, the things he said is what lasted, is what has the most effect. Not seeing him kick somebody necessarily. Like, yeah, he probably kicked the shit out of somebody, but nonetheless, the words he used took more of a toll. You know, they played more effect. You know, so if you got people worrying about leaving a legacy and, you know, etc. Well, here it is. Bruce Lee was the greatest martial artist to you know, to live, basically, and what he's highly remembered for, where he's most, he affects people the most at is in his words, man. Why? Because they're still around. You see? So words is certain, these are things that shouldn't be shaded, man. So you stop neglecting and shading the power and use of words. You see? And that's what all of us can learn, right? Because like I said, originally I had this, instead of the you carnal in the subtitle, I had you women, because women are taught to be carnal. You know, they're pushed to be carnal, which is stupid. That's dumb. That's retarded. Like, yeah, you're trying to be about things that affect, but really when you go into it, it's really everybody that's like that. Like, you would have had more effect on her, going back to my original example, if you would have, bagged about words, not by just buying her everything. Because what happens when those things break or those things are stolen? You see what I'm saying? The use and the power of words will always outweigh that, because, like I said, you go all the way back to the garden. You know, the woman was beguiled by the serpent through his subtlety. When you go into subtlety, you get the word craftiness, cunningness, a specious or false wisdom. See that? Trickery, sophistry. Let's get these words. So really, and that's basically what we just broke down. He crafted together words to have a certain effect. You know, she went on we die now because of that, because of those words that he gave Eve, man. You can't make this up. So you got this word.
Sophistry.
Sophistry. The use of fallacious, fallacious, or really fallacious, fallacious, or whatever, however you want to pronounce it, right? But I believe going into fallacy, it's the use of fallacious arguments, especially with the intention of deceiving. See, arguments that deals with what? Words. See that? An argument. So that's what he used. See, in exchange of diverging of opposite views. Now, how can you do that without words? Well, we just both look in different directions, and we'll argue because I'm looking this way. Look, war of words. See that? That's what went down in the garden. And through his use of the particular words he used, it beat out the words that she, used, which was God said we can't do this, and he came back and got, and he elaborated. He was like, God said it, but he was like, but he knows if you did this, it's gonna result in this. And it took her further. Those words were able to move her off of what she stood on in her mind. You see, where she was stable at. So why would you neglect the use of words, seeing that words can be like a drill to take out a screw that's been in place for 50 years that a screwdriver couldn't. You know, words are like a hammer that can fasten certain things in place. It could be used like that. Words can be used to paint pictures. You know? So why would you put anything over the use of words, knowing the history, Salakia? I closed out what I wanted. Knowing the history of words. Like, why? See that? So that's that. So let's move on. Let's go here. This is Iraq. You got people that tend to what? You got women and people that tend to put, because they want to have an effect on something, so they tend to just do it the weak way. You're not even really thinking. You know, I'm gonna get through to you like this. You know, when the best way to get through to somebody, or I'm gonna try to change this by this. When the best way to always do that would be what? Through words, because words are gonna have depending on how you use them, they're gonna have a lasting effect. It's nothing more, like it's nothing words can't do. You see? So hence how you even got food and gifts in the first place. You know, a woman taught that the way to a man is, you know, through his stomach. You know, but before I go into that, because I'm gonna get that, I'm gonna wrap up, because this is fairly simple, man. This is Iraq 18 and 16. I'm gonna start at 15. My son, blemish not thy good deeds, neither use uncomfortable words when thou givest anything, because the words can offset, certain words can offset certain things. See, that's showing you the words will have more power than what you may be being seen to do. You might be doing a good deed, but you might be saying certain words with it that can take away from it. So it don't matter what you may be doing. You can offset what you may be doing based off uncomfortable words. You might not say the right word. You might not, you know what I'm saying? So if you do that, you would drop the back. You see that? Versus you can further, if you use words the right way with whatever physical act you was doing, you would what? You would further secure the bag. You can further secure the bag. You can lock it up because you complimenting that. The words, they're so powerful, they outweigh everything. So that's why I say neither use uncomfortable words when thou givest anything, because words in general are powerful. So if you're doing something good and you saying something bad while you're doing something good, it'll outweigh that, you know, because once again, words, you know, so the use of them. So stop neglecting it, you know, and shading the power and use of words, man. But anyway, shall not to do assuage the heat, so is a word better than a gift. Lo, is not a word better than a gift? Say it isn't, because through words is how you got the concept of gifts. I'm gonna buy you a gift to make it up to you. But that concept came about through words. You see? John 1. In the beginning was the word. Whoo, see? And the word was with God. And the word was God, but it was a God. That's what we're supposed to say. The same was in the beginning with God, man. And they go on to say him because YAHAWAH is the embodiment of the word, man. He is the word. So all things were made by him. So words, the word is considered God, man. You see? Because the Lord was able to just say and things was. Let this be created. Let that be created. So everything you got, your food, your concept of feeling, you know, the functionality of your feelings was all through words. So you should cherish words and keep them and give them more reverence now, man. That's how you're gonna have an effect. Because let me finish this. All things were made by him, and without him, nothing was not anything made that was made. So that's how you're gonna have an effect. You know, if you really want to make sure, okay, I want to do a good deed, but it says what? Sirach 16:18-6, shall not the do assuage the heat, so is a word better than a gift. Lo, is not a word better than a gift, but both are with a gracious man. So yeah, you want to, like, the Lord obviously went on to made those other carnal things that women tend to, most carnal people tend to, food, different pleasures, different just because you got many pleasures. So, but all those things were brought about through what? Through the word. As it says, St. John's 1:1, in the beginning was the word, and the word was with God, and the word was of God. The same was in the beginning with God. All things were made by him, and without him was not anything made that was made. And that him is the word, because the word is a him, because it's the Son of God, YAHAWAH, who did everything, who's known as what? The word. Revelation 19:13. And he was clothed with a vesture dipped in blood, and his name is called the Word. And his name is called the Word of God. You see, he's the Word, man. So when you go to Genesis 1, you should have a look, the creation. In the beginning, God created the heaven. Who? The Word. Example, and the earth was without form and void, and darkness was upon the face of the deep, and the faith and the Spirit of God moved upon the face of the waters. And God said, and God said, and God said, let there be light, and there was light. See that? That was it. You know, when you go into the words, because said is a past and past participle of say. Right? It's a furtherance of the word say. So really, when you're saying said, you're saying the evolved form of say. And say means what?
Say.
Other words as to convey information, an opinion, a feeling or intention, or an instruction, man. Other words. So when he said, that was just words. And God said, he uttered words in the understanding. And God uttered words, let there be light, such as let there be light. And there was light. You see? And God uttered words. You see, and God said, meaning, and God uttered words, such as let there be light. And there was light. You see, and God saw the light that it was good. You see that? So you use words to truly make sure you're going to have the effect you want, and so things can come out right. You know, that's why it says in Sirach 18. That's why it says in Sirach 18, verse 7, lo, is not a word better than a gift, but both are with a gracious man. You see, he had words, and then he wanted to bring stuff with it, physical things with it. But you ain't get the physical things which were right without the words. And you would know if they were going to be right without the words. Because obviously he said, let there be light, because what? It says, verse 2, and the earth was without form and void and darkness. So you're sitting thinking, if you're creating, you're like, okay, it's dark right now. I want the opposite of this right now. Let there be light. So God uttered words, let there be, such as let there be light, and there was light. And then it went on to actually be esteemed as good. Like, you know what? That was good. Exactly, because we used our words first. Because when you're using words, that's where you get planning. Because even if you're not thinking, even if you're not verbally talking to somebody and you sitting up here planning your whole day out, you still using words. You talking to yourself. It still come down to words. And then eventually what you want to do, which either go on to be bad or good, depending on how you properly assess and put together your words. That comes down to that. Or if you use words at all. But if it come down to good, that's due to that, man. If it come out as being good, it all started with what? Those thoughts, which were words you was having. Those words you wrote down. I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that because of this. You see? So when you end up having it a good day, guess what? A good outcome, it was due to you. It should be due to you, and it was due to you, because that's the example I use. Your words, you making it about words, using the power of words. Because the words help you see your way through it. When you say, once again, you're doing what? You conveying information. I think God dropped it already. No, I didn't. Yeah. Utter say means utter words so as to convey information. You see, an opinion, a feeling, or attention. You know, you really know how you can get the feeling right. You can correct the feeling. You can correct the vibe based off what? Words. Friction between two people based off what? Words. You can get the wall how you want based off words. Where you want this to go? Ma'am, you want this to go over here? Yes, put it right here. And then when they put it in a spot that you want it and it come out good, you got to go back to, what brought that about, which was words. So keep words first, man. That was the first thing. In the beginning was the word. In the beginning was the word, which was YAHAWAH. And what did he say? He said, what? Revelation 22, I want to say, verse 11. Verse 13, Salaki. I am Alpha and Omega, the beginning and the end. See? The beginning was said to be the word. So once again, that's why I go on to say, and by him was everything made. See that? That's why I was a him, because it's actually YAHAWAH, but he's the word. The beginning and the end, the first, you see? So if he's the word is said at the beginning, be the beginning, but he's saying right here, he's the beginning and the end, but also the first and the last. So that's the first thing. First things first is words, man. Period. And the last. Because you esteem, used to be like, okay, I ain't feeling this dark. How you want it, Lord? How you want it, Yahweh? It's dark. You have to make the opposite of this. Let's make light. Right? And then they go on to do it. And then when it come out, which was so now it's here. At that point, it's there. The light is there. What you desired is there. But that began with words, and now that it is here, he can go on. It's going to end with words, because you're going to go on and say after it's done, you know what? That's good, perfect. See that? That's how it goes. You be like, yep, that was the right thing to do. You hungry? You want to go get some food? Moms just want to treat moms like the Lord didn't put the concept of words in them, man. The appreciation of words in them. Like he didn't base things off. He didn't base effect and effect off of words, man. You want to leave out the main thing that caused effect and effects. You can't be like that, man. Try to just put some food down a man's mouth, man. That's some bull crap, man. That ain't right. That's like witchcraft, you know? What does effect mean? Effect is a change which or consequence of an action or other cause. You know, I want to change the mood, so I'm gonna just make some food and I ain't gonna say nothing. I'm gonna just give you the food. How you know that's right? Yeah, that will change something, but you can get it right to know if it'll change something if you ask, if you talk about it. Where you want it, Lord? What you want right now, Lord? We want it's dark. I need the opposite of this. All right, it's done. All right, that's good. Yeah, we should have did this. That was good. Yep, there it is. But it all started and ended with words, man. It started with words and it end with words. As YAHAWAH said, he the first and the last, man. He's the beginning and the end, and also the first and last. Meaning the word is the beginning. It should be the beginning. It was the beginning, and it was the ending. You see what I'm saying? It is also the first and the last. It's the first, meaning chief thing, man. And it should be the last thing. Period. The whole material world you live in is through words, man. You being materialized is through words. You know, but effect, must just try to leave out that, man. Effect is based on words, man. Because you got the concept of effects. I'm gonna try to change the mood. You got that from words, man. So why don't you just use words? And then the things that words brought about to act as certain effects. You see what I'm saying? Well, like a damn nap. You know, I'll put my child to sleep because I know it'll affect their mood better. In a good way. But that concept came down to words, man. So you'll be able to properly do that if you keep words involved all the time. For example, well, how would I involve words and just simply laying my child down? Well, you'll ask yourself, does my child need to be laid down right now? Because you can lay your child down right now because they acting cranky, but what if this a bad time to lay your child down? You got the whole, the thought, when he go to sleep now, he gonna be up all night. She's gonna be up all night. That's how. And you could prevent that, you being subject to, that not working in your favor, or that being the case, by you what? Just simply using words, thinking like, should I put you to sleep right now? Yeah, I should. This would be a good time. And then now it worked. Now the baby's in a better mood. You see what I'm saying? Versus just doing it and it's the wrong time. The baby might even go to sleep. Or gonna be up all night now. You see that? So words will help you eliminate that. And then if you do it that way, guess what? Once she wakes up, or he or she wakes up from the nap, it's gonna end with words. It's gonna end with words, which is gonna be what? Yeah, that was a good idea. Yep, that was right. You see what I'm saying? So that's how you go about the same situation dealing with men. You see what I'm saying? Or whoever, or whatever. So the effect, a change which is a result or consequence of an action or other cause. See that? So it is, you can all these things rely on words, man. If you want a proper change, you better involve words. You want a proper result, a desired result, you better involve words. Outcome, outturn, reaction. You want a certain reaction, you better involve words. You better think about that, because words might not be involved. It might be something this is the time I can't say something to this person. But yeah, words will still be involved because you would just talk about it. It might be a situation where You trying to surprise somebody, so you can't say nothing to them. But what if you just did the surprise with no words, meaning no thoughts, no organization of it, no organizing of it, but you wanted a happy reaction? Well, if you just jumped in without organizing and put the thoughts together, writing it down, words, all coming down to words, what? It's probably not gonna turn out right. So why leave it to not know when you can know? You see what I'm saying? You can give it a better chance. Then so if you do the opposite, you put it together, you know what I'm saying? Okay. Like, yeah, I know this gonna work because this how he is, this how she is, he did this, and then the timing, yeah. And then it come out right, you're gonna be like, yep. So that's when you start at those moments where you see those, when you do apply this wisdom, that will be wisdom. When you go apply this, will be what? Will be the start of you appreciating words. See? So call something to bring something about. So that's basically it, you know, and then you got the other word, effect. All right. They don't take 50 scriptures, you know. Bring out the, you know, the point, back it up, the Bible, you know what I'm saying, with the word, the literature, see with the word, see that? And that's it. It says effect, have an effect. An effect is having an effect. Make a difference too, which is going into simply influencing. You know, you want to change somebody's thought of mind. You can do it, man. So this lesson should be able to help you keep what's chief. So foods and gifts don't have the same effect and don't last the way that words do. See? But the Lord used words to bring about these different things like foods and gifts, because gifts affect people, man. You see? So that's what people try to lean on. You know, people try to lean on that because they know that it's science. People know. People know. All right. But it's play. It's not truly it. It's truly not it, man. It's not truly it. See, Ecclesiastes 7:7. Surely oppression maketh a wise man mad, and a gift destroyed the heart. You see, a gift destroyed the heart. Meaning what? A gift affects things, man. A gift can you know, change how somebody thinking, you know, or feeling. And that's all people tend to hop on, man. How much more it is? Wadi how about y'all shot? A gift, Proverbs 24:14, a gift in secret pacifieth anger. It do say a gift in secret pacifieth anger. Certain things you try to basically, you know, the flesh, you try to please the flesh. Certain things you can gift the flesh. Well, it'll pacify, it can pacify anger. Certain things that was made to take away anger. Certain things that were certain carnal things that were made to you know, lessen anger. They're gonna lessen anger. But it says, and a reward in the bosom, look, and a reward in the bosom, strong wrath. You see? Nigga go, you know, all people try to do, go buy a box of roses or a damn car, take you shopping. We're gonna go out of, you know, I'm gonna do this. You know, goddamn baby boy. When Jody slapped the shit out of her now, I can't even remember her name on there, but you know, he did what he did, man. You know, but it ain't locked nothing in from there. You see what I'm saying? It didn't have a lasting effect versus if they would have used words. And then eventually it came down to words, you know, at the end of the movie. But anyway, this is not even the scripture I want. Let me get the one I want. I'm gonna wrap up. Let me see. Let me see. Soft. Yes. That's what I wanted. Proverbs 15:1. A soft answer turneth away wrath. You see, a soft answer turneth away wrath. Going into what? Words. You see, a soft answer turneth away wrath. You see, but grievous words stir up anger. So showing you that answer is talking about words. That's why it starts, a soft answer turneth away wrath, but grievous words stir up anger. So that answer is really words. You see? So yeah, so that's beautiful. You know, so you need to you want to get to you man, get the wordplay. The wordplay is it, man. You see? And you don't just use words and be foolish with your words. That's why you get these scriptures written. Proverbs 15:2. The tongue of the wise use it knowledge aright. You see? Meaning the words of the wise use it knowledge aright. You see? Bring it out. Apply what we're talking about. But the mouth of fools poureth out foolishness. You see? A wholesome tongue, verse 4. A wholesome tongue, you see, meaning the tongue completely right. You need to perfect your wordplay. You got people, you know, words, they say words move mountains, man. You know, you got, that's why people write letters. That's why people, like the Hallmark cards. Esau know this, man. You see, hey, but you know, so it's more to just, cause see, that's a gift with a word. You know, even though those not even your words, you go buy words. Like that's the a Hallmark card is the epitome of epitome of Sirach, the 18th chapter, which is what a good low is not a gift better than a word, but both are with a gracious man. You see, it's a gift. A Hallmark card is a gift and a word at the same time because it's tended to somebody's flesh. Somebody gonna go, oh, then they read the words, so it act, you know. Words they were too lazy to put together themselves. So it's that you buying a Hallmark card proves this lesson, man. You see, so a wholesome tongue is a tree of life, but perverseness therein is a breach in the spirit. All right. So yeah, man, it's something we all, you know, need to take more advantage of, man, because Esau definitely do it. You gotta think, you know, words put our whole nation down, man. See what I'm saying? Words got people not wanting to fight no more. You see what I'm saying? You know, words how you do a lifetime sentence in prison. You know, words that help you go to the store to go get that deal. A certain commercial came on, and those words led you to the store. So how powerful are words, man? Take advantage of them. So I'm gonna close out. I'm gonna give all honor, praise, and glory to the Heavenly Father. All right. I'm gonna get this last scripture. Soul to the spirit. All right. That's Galatians 6. All right, come back and do an actual lesson on this by itself. So Galatians 6, and this is a beautiful scripture right here. This is Galatians 6:6. I'm gonna start at. Yep, beautiful. It says, "Let him that is taught in the word, see, in the word, communicate unto him that teaches in all good things." So if you know how things work, you can talk to people because you got the knowledge of the scriptures. Now you can talk to people and talk them into certain things and out of things and inform them about certain things and remind them of certain things. Like, no, you know, the words say, we got to keep going. You know, somebody going through hard time, you let them know, you know, how the scriptures say this is the condition of the battle. You know what I'm saying? You know, you out doing too much in the world. You taught in the word now. So, you know, the word talks about that. No man that war. You got to remember, bro. You'll be like, yo, you got to remember, bro. You can't just be out here. We in the war. Does it say no man that wars entangleth himself with the affairs of his life? So you can't be too involved out here. You need to get what you need to get in the matrix and get the hell out, because you will see what happened. And see this the further use of words. You will see what happened. Remember what happened with Neo and damn near and Morpheus, man. When they were going to the world, the world damn near killed them, man. You getting tangled with agents, talking to people that you talking to a dummy too long. You expose the dummies too long. That's dangerous. You see, so you being taught in His word, you able to you need to communicate unto people. You see what I'm saying? Unto him that teacheth in all good things. You see, unto him. Let him that is taught in the word communicate, and that goes for you women that know this word. You see, you just don't give somebody. You don't just give somebody with a gift. Now, you if you're gracious, you give them. You give them the word, and if you can do both, you give them both. You give them the spiritual side, which is the word, because the word is the spirit, and then you give them the carnal side, because the Lord made both. So, because the carnal side, certain things of the carnal side was made to effect, but don't just lean on that all the time, because you didn't even get those things without the word. So the word will have more effect all the time, man. Build off of words. All right. Let him that is taught. So if say Esau is able to get you out of your immortality, and our people ultimately now fast forward out of our nationality, what could you do with words? You see what I'm saying? Come on, let him that is taught in the word communicate unto him. That teaches in all good things. You see, but be not deceived. Be not deceived. God is not mocked. For whatsoever a man soweth, that shall he also reap. So if you just want to build, have unlasting joy and temporary joy and unlifelong effects, unlike Bruce Lee here, you see, only build on the carnal side and see what you get. Unlasting effects, but build with the words. You're gonna be like literature, man. You're gonna have that lasting effect on stuff, man. You could create everlasting joy and all that, man. You see, because that's what you sowing. You see, so whatsoever a man soweth, include you women, you men out there. You just got shorty off of the bag, off of some carnal stuff. That's all she is. You see what I'm saying? She ain't with you for real, man. She not with you mentally. Damn, you need her mentally. She ain't there for you. You see what I'm saying? But if you did have her, tried to bag her, then she didn't try to build there. That's a whole nother thing. But that shall he also reap. And I'll end on this. For he that soweth to his flesh shall of the flesh reap corruption. You got to remember, everything that you can use in order to affect, but everything carnal, any of the carnal tools that were used to effect and affect, you got to remember they really won't last, because they're outright carnal. You see, and what happens to the carnal? It dies. All these bodies die. So these bodies represent not lasting. You see what I'm saying? So why would you just base off of cars and clothes and just shit? That's why none of that shit lasts, man. Moms can't stop buying Jordans. You see? It's facts. The Jordans is for your flesh. It's not for your spirit. You see what I'm saying? You don't put them on your spirit. You put them on your flesh. But your mind, your words, that's a whole nother stomach. I can go on, but I ain't gonna go on. Lord willing. Galatians 6:8. For he that soweth to the flesh, to his flesh shall of the flesh reap corruption. But he that soweth to the spirit, and the spirit is what? The word. See that? Shall of the spirit reap life everlasting, because this word doesn't perish, man. So only way you can sow to the spirit is with spiritual things. The spirit is the true appetite. The spirit is the desires. You're trying to speak to those things and affect those things. Well, the spirit is the mind. That's what spirit is in the Hebrew. You go look it up in the Hebrew. It's what? is rakah, you know, and that's where you get the mind to see the appetites and all these different things. And then in the Greek, you get the same thing. In certain scriptures. So this is outright going into the life force. Yeah, there it is. A spirit, an example, a simple essence, devoid of all, or at least all grosser matter. You see, it has nothing to do with that shit. Like as far as it's not, it's this the grosser matter is the body now. It says, and possessed of the power of knowing, desiring, you see, deciding and acting. All that comes down to the spirit. So if you're in effect with somebody, know, desire, deciding, acting, which would be all spiritual things, you gotta take on that form. You see, which would be the word. You have to give words to affect with somebody you know, aka affect their spirit, which is will have an everlasting effect. You know, same with their desires, deciding and acting. All right, so I'm gonna close out. I'm gonna wrap up. Give all honor, praise, and glory to Heavenly Father. Yahawah Bashmi Al Shah. Till next time.